Hey folks, and welcome to the Pipnotic Symposium on the 1st of February 2024. Alright, today I have a few things I want to share with you, a couple of updates. One of them is in the supply and demand software, and I have two updates for buy and sell zone, one of which is the same as the update in the supply and demand software. Okay, so the first update that affects both SnD and buy and sell zones is the test. Okay, and what does that mean? Okay, so what that means is when we have a zone that has been established, like let's look at this one here. Let me just draw one so we have a perfect example. So we have price does this, forms a zone, it forms a high, comes down, forms a zone, then goes up, comes down, tests a high, and then moves higher. Okay, so looking at this little price structure, there are some really important details that I have now programmed into the software that were not there before. And this detail is the whole concept of resistance becomes support, okay, and price inefficiencies. And what I mean is that when you have a zone like this, where price kind of comes to a zone and tests this this level here, this resistance becomes support, technically speaking, this price inefficiency has been rebalanced. So when price revisits this reference point right here, then this has been mitigated and price can continue to go higher or lower. As such, when the zone is created, when price comes back to that area, technically speaking, this area of demand here has been tested, because this is responsible for driving prices above this price structure. And so on a technical level, when you look at the way supply and demand is distributed and the way price imbalances have to be addressed and dealt with, I mean, there are some obligations to rebalance these price inefficiencies, because I mean, a market maker, an intermediary who has to meet the needs and requirements of a market maker or an exchange or whatever, they have to address price inefficiencies. This is very important. And so when you have a price inefficiency like this, technically speaking, returning price to historical reference points like this here essentially deals with this. Okay, and so when a price inefficiency is dealt with, then there is no longer an efficiency, which means that this area of demand here may not carry the same clout that it did prior to price returning to this little swing point just here. Okay, so this is super important. And as a matter of fact, I was just like running through a ton of different pairs just to see how in fact this plays out, and it's pretty remarkable to see how ensuring that this happens really increases the likelihood of these zones holding. And so that's what I've done. Okay, so I have built that into the software and I'm just testing it now, and so far it's looking good. There was another update that I did, but it's more of a kind of a code-based thing that will put most of you to sleep, so I shan't talk about that. But this one has been dealt with, and so I will leave it at that, and I'll publish that out here probably today. Okay, that was the first one. And now there is one in the supply and demand, the buy and sell zones algo trader that is kind of cool. I saw a couple of people chatting in the forum, and I just wanted to talk about that. So if we go here, it was Icrostar and Anders who were talking about where is Icrostar's comment? What is he thinking? Would be a okay, here I can see the algo can move a stop loss to break even after a certain price point, but can it take partials, as in partial profits? Sorry, close portions of the order as we hit certain points? And the answer to that is no. Currently, it cannot. But now, due to an update that I just released, and thank you so much, Icrostar. I don't even know if you're a man or a woman or anything else, but whoever you are, I'm greatly thankful for your input. And I think that's a really awesome comment. As a matter of fact, Andrew also spoke about this, and I think Anders spoke about this as well. So this is something that I have been asked to do for quite some time. Okay, so here we have a level. Prices come up to the level, they go higher, we test the level, and then we leave. Okay, so let's assume for just one moment that this is the entry, this is the stop, and this is the target. Okay, just a one-to-one. Okay, so when prices come down here for a test, they get filled, and then price starts to move towards our target, entry, stop. Currently we have a break-even feature that tells the algo that when we get, this is the default setting, when we get 50% towards our target, I want you to take the stop loss and I want you to move it up to break even. Okay, and that works fine. That's beautiful and perfect. But now, based on the requests I've received, latest from Icrostar, it would be a really cool idea if we could in fact take maybe half the trade-off or 80% of the trade-off when this little transaction happens. And so now it has been implemented, and if we have a look at the configuration, just what it looks like, where do we have it? Here. Okay, so when we have move stop to break even, this is set to true. Percentage to profit trigger, so this is half, which means 50% of the target. So when we get, as I illustrated in the example just a second ago, 50% towards the target, the stop gets moved to break even. And if this is not 0 but set to a value like 0.8 as an example, when we hit this trigger, we take off 80% of the position and the stop is moved to break even. Okay, so that is in the update, and I'm just testing it now because I don't want to roll it out and then find out that there's like I had a bit of a brain fart, which happens, and then I have to reissue the update. So I'm just about to put it on my VPS and let it run. I just need it to work on a couple of buy orders and sell orders, just so I can kind of see it, how that works, along with the new update that I'm releasing that affects both supply and demand and the buy and sell zone. So this is what we have to look forward to. So that's pretty cool. I'm super excited to see how that works, and I'm also experiencing that sometimes you have these market situations or kind of a sentiment where price doesn't go far. I mean, we have like a zone, price leaves the zone, we test and we go up a little bit, and then we kind of do something else. And so having that new feature in the buy and sell zone will help make this situation a profitable scenario, even though in the default configuration, rather in the old days, whether it's either or, where we have you either hit our target or we hit our stop, I mean, we would get stopped out, which is that's a damn shame. And so with this new configuration, I'm confident that we will be able to mitigate a lot of the losses. Obviously, we're not going to get these huge 1 to 7 risk reward trades. We will, but the volume of the remaining profit will be much smaller. But it'll prevent us from hemorrhaging in situations where prices do not do what we want them to do. Okay, good. Well, I think I'm going to leave it at that for this video. I'm going to do an analysis maybe later today or tomorrow. And if you have any questions or requests for this analysis, please let me know. Okay, good stuff. I'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for watching.